I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. We need the cops here as soon as possible.
This was the 911 call which shook the world and resulted in the arrest of the famous YouTuber.
Jody, I need you to step out.
I have my attorney.
That's great. Step out of the house.
Imagine a mother with millions of followers, celebrated for her values and parenting advice, only to be accused of something unimaginable. Ruby Franke, the face behind the popular family YouTube channel 8 Passengers, is now at the center of one of the most shocking child abuse cases in recent history. How did a mother who once seemed to embody family values fall from grace so severely? Today, we'll take you through Ruby's journey, from her rise as a beloved family vlogger to the disturbing allegations that have shattered her image and left the world questioning what was happening behind the scenes. This is a story that pulls back the curtain on family vlogging and reveals a dark side to online fame. Ruby Franke first began her YouTube journey in 2015. With her husband Kevin and their 6 children, Ruby created 8 Passengers, a family-oriented channel where she shared parenting advice, daily life, and what she called strong family values. From the beginning, Ruby presented herself as a strict parent. Her approach was rooted in structure, discipline, and traditional morals. Her parenting style quickly gained attention. For some viewers, her old-fashioned methods of discipline were admirable in a world where parenting styles have become more relaxed. Others, however, felt that Ruby's rules and punishments were extreme and questioned whether her approach was appropriate for a public platform. But despite the controversy, 8 Passengers continued to grow, attracting millions of views and building a loyal following. For several years, Ruby's videos brought in millions of dollars in ad revenue, brand deals, and sponsorships. She became an influential figure in the world of family vlogging, and her fans trusted her as an authority on parenting. Yet, even amid the popularity, some warning signs started to appear.
Why you yelled at me?
Shh! The fact that I yell at my kids is a secret. We don't want our viewers to know.
As Ruby's popularity grew, so did scrutiny from her audience. Several incidents on her channel raised concerns about her parenting style. For example, in one video, Ruby openly discussed her decision to take away her teenage son, Chad's bedroom as a punishment, forcing him to sleep on a beanbag chair for 7 months.
My bedroom was taken away for 7 months and then you give it back like a couple weeks ago.
I don't think our viewers know that.
You've been sleeping on a beanbag.
I've been sleeping on a beanbag since October.
Chad came home from Anasazi and
Russell was like, I want to try dunking the basketball, and I lifted him up on the rim. And left him there. We shot 3 minutes, and he was just hanging on there.
Do you think it's funny? Because
and then I walk out.
If you think it's funny, then that was 7 months ago. Maybe you need longer without a bedroom.
It was not funny.
According to Ruby, this was a consequence for pranking his younger brother, which she felt was necessary to teach him a lesson. In another controversial video, Ruby admitted that she had refused to bring her 6-year-old daughter Eve a packed lunch for school, claiming that going without food would help her learn responsibility.
I did not pack a lunch today, and can I bring a lunch over to the school? I know that her teacher is uncomfortable with her being hungry and not having a lunch. I responded and just said, Eve is responsible for making her lunches in the morning, so the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry.
These incidents sparked heated discussions in the comments, with many viewers expressing concern for the children's well-being. Some fans argued that Ruby was being overly harsh, while others defended her, claiming that tough love was sometimes necessary. Public backlash grew, and viewers took to social media to discuss their concerns. Some went as far as to report Ruby's videos to Child Protective Services, hoping authorities would investigate the family. Yet, despite the criticism and attempts to intervene, Ruby remained defiant, often dismissing her critics as outsiders who didn't understand her methods. In her eyes, the criticism only validated her beliefs. She was raising her children in a way that she felt would make them resilient, strong, and independent. But was there more going on behind the scenes? In recent years, Ruby's strict parenting style became even more extreme, and many have pointed to her collaboration with Jodi Hildebrandt as a turning point. Jodi, a licensed therapist, ran a program called Conscience, which promoted teachings about obedience, accountability, and strict discipline. Ruby and Jodi met through their mutual interests in discipline and parenting, and they began working together to offer parenting advice under the Conscience brand.
We are live in Mapleton, Utah, and we have Ruby here. And Ruby is a part of the original 10 women that are being trained to become mental fitness trainers.
The Conscience program encouraged parents to implement rigid disciplinary methods and viewed any form of rebellion as acting out. It is alleged that Ruby and Jodi's beliefs reinforced one another, leading Ruby to adopt even stricter measures. In fact, some of Ruby's followers began noticing a shift in her demeanor, as if her focus on discipline had intensified, perhaps influenced by her growing involvement in Conscience. As Ruby and Jodi's partnership grew, so did the concerns from viewers. The more time Ruby spent with Jodi, the more extreme her parenting methods seemed to become. What started as harsh but relatively mainstream parenting advice evolved into something darker, something that even longtime fans began to find disturbing. But things took a truly shocking turn when, in August 2023, authorities were called to investigate Ruby Franke after one of her children made a desperate escape from the home. On August 30th, 2023, a call to local police brought them to a quiet neighborhood in Utah.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And said he just came from a neighbor's house. He's emaciated. He's got tape around his legs. This kid is probably sleeping. I think he's sleeping. So he escaped.
We need the police here now.
The details of that call were chilling. One of Ruby's children had escaped from a residence, looking malnourished, injured, and severely neglected. According to the report, the child had fled to a neighbor's house, pleading for food and water. Upon arrival, officers were struck by the child's condition.
He had duct tape wrapped around him, and underneath the duct tape was saran wrap wrapped around both of his legs, and on both the wrists were the same.
The police report described signs of physical injury, bruising, and malnourishment, evidence that suggested the child had endured prolonged abuse. Authorities acted quickly, taking the child into custody for medical attention and launching an investigation into Ruby's household. Ruby and her collaborator, Jodi Hildebrandt, were arrested later that day, each facing multiple felony charges for aggravated child abuse. According to officials, the evidence indicated a disturbing pattern of mistreatment. Ruby's public image as a strict yet caring mother was now shattered, replaced by allegations that painted her as a figure of cruelty. The charges detailed specific acts of abuse, including physical restraint and deprivation of basic necessities. The community was horrified, and news of Ruby's arrest spread quickly, igniting public outrage across the country.
How do you plead to count 1, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 3, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 5, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
And to count 6, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
With my deepest regret and sorrow for my family and my children, guilty.
News of Ruby Franke's arrest was met with widespread shock and anger. Former fans, family members, and even other family vloggers expressed their horror at the allegations. On social media, hashtags like "Justice for Ruby's Kids" and "You Protect the Children" began trending as people demanded accountability. Even Ruby's extended family spoke out, with some members suggesting that her behavior had been concerning for years. Statements from her siblings hinted at a strained relationship, and several of them indicated that they had distanced themselves from Ruby due to her strict parenting methods. Ruby's husband, Kevin, reportedly distanced himself as well, though questions remain about his level of involvement in the alleged abuse. With Ruby and Jody both behind bars awaiting trial, the legal process is only beginning. If convicted, they could each face significant prison time. In the meantime, authorities are investigating the broader implications of Ruby and Jody's involvement in Conscience. The program has come under intense scrutiny, as it appears to have promoted disciplinary methods that may have crossed into abuse. Parents who once sought guidance through Conscience are now questioning the impact of Jody's teachings, and some are considering legal action against the organization. Ruby Franke's arrest has also reignited debates around family vlogging and the ethics of sharing children's lives on a public platform. The popularity of family vloggers has soared in recent years, with parents capturing and sharing intimate moments of their children's lives with millions of viewers. But as this case shows, there can be a dark side to such exposure. Experts argue that family vlogging can blur boundaries, putting children under public scrutiny and creating a pressure to maintain a perfect family image. For some parents, this pressure can lead to extreme measures, with children's well-being taking a back seat to the need for compelling content. The Ruby Franke case raises critical questions. How much of a child's life should be shared online? What are the potential consequences of turning children into content? And who, if anyone, is responsible for protecting children in these situations? Family vloggers have faced criticism before, but Ruby Franke's story may be a turning point. As more cases emerge highlighting the risks of family vlogging, social media platforms may need to rethink their policies on family content. Advocacy groups are already pushing for greater oversight, calling for regulations to protect children's privacy and prevent exploitation. As Ruby Franke awaits her day in court, the world watches, waiting to see how this case will unfold. Once celebrated as a role model for parents, she now serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of public parenting and the extreme measures that some individuals will take in the name of discipline. Ruby's story reveals the dark underbelly of family vlogging and the consequences of online fame. It's a sobering reminder that what appears perfect on the outside can sometimes hide a troubling reality behind closed doors. In the end, Ruby Franke's story is about more than just one family. It's a reflection of the complex and often troubling world of family content creation. And as authorities work to bring justice for Ruby's children, we're left to wonder how many other stories like this are out there, waiting to be uncovered. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates as we continue following the Ruby Franke case and other stories that reveal the darker side of social media.